let's do an unhaul. Different background for today's video. I'm currently at the place where I store all my stuff that doesn't fit in my small bedroom in my parents' house, like all the stuff I accumulated whilst at uni, etc. And I thought I would leave the books I'm unhauling here because a lot of charity shops still aren't open. I can't see friends that I would give these books to, but I don't want them in my house anymore. So I'm going to leave them here just in case maybe I do regret getting rid of one or two of these. This is like an interim stepping stone to getting rid of them fully. So let's get into it. First of all, we've got A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I'm not really a Nicholas Sparks person. My friend bought this for me for my 18th birthday. I was really thankful. I enjoyed it at the time. I tried to reread it a couple of years ago and I couldn't get back into it. It's not my thing anymore, so I'm getting rid of it. Next we have The Little Red Chairs by Edna O'Brien. I bought this for my mum for her birthday one year, and I have a habit of like reading books before I give them to people. And I read it and I hated it, so I decided I couldn't give it to my mum for her birthday. But this book is not what I thought it was about. The back cover makes it sound like it's this like quaint town, a new guy comes to town and sort of shakes things up. And I thought it was going to be like a literary romance maybe, and be all about this intriguing guy. The guy, spoilers, is a war criminal, and there's a particular scene in this which was so horrible. This woman gets horribly assaulted in a really intrusive way, and I was so shocked because that is not what I thought this was going to be. And I kept it because of the cover, but I'm never going to reread this because that scene, I can't reread that scene. The rest of the story is about like her then moving and sort of being a refugee from, I think she's from Ireland, yes, and she moves to England and is a refugee and meets other refugees. And if I'd known that that was what the story was going to be about, I think I might have liked it more. But the first section of the book, I just, not for me. Then we have The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. This sounded right up my alley. It's like Regency Society, this young woman, coming out into society, and then paranormal stuff happens. And that really intrigued me. And it just fell flat. And this is the first in a series. I thought it was a series I was going to be able to really get into, but I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the romance, wasn't really a fan of the paranormal stuff, the way it was executed. So although this is beautiful, I'm never going to continue on with the series, so why keep the first book? I think it could be like someone else's cup of tea, but it's not mine. Next is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Soul. I kind of wanted to keep this because it's one of like the first few books that my parents gave me when I really got back into reading and I started reading young adult. I wanted to keep it for that, but even at the time I didn't really like it. It took me ages to read it and I've never wanted to continue the series, and I have no desire to reread it at this point in my life, so someone else can have it and potentially love it. On a similar note, we have Dark Secrets by Elizabeth Chandler. This is like 2 short stories. I've reread this a couple of times, I think. This is like ghost stories. Had a lot of fun with it when I was a teenager. Yeah, I reread it a couple of times, but I think I reread it a few years ago. And it wasn't really for me anymore then, because I was like late teens, 20s at that point. And yeah, they're like 3-star stories for me, and at this point in my life I'm not going to reread them again. I got it, I think, at the same time as I got Beautiful Creatures, so in my mind these are connected as like my young adult paranormal books, but some other young girl can enjoy them. Then we have 17 Poisoned Englishmen by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This is like a few short stories. I only really enjoyed one of them. Don't see myself rereading them. Don't need this. I'm pretty sure it came like free with a newspaper years ago. I don't need this. We have When It Happens by Suzanne Colasanti. I really enjoyed this when I was younger. I reread it again a couple of times, I think. But at this point in my life, I don't have as much emotional attachment to this as I do some other young adult books I own. But I really like this. Super floppy, really nice feeling paperback. But it's, yeah, if I'm gonna reread a young adult contemporary that I loved when I was younger, this is not the one I would reach for. Next up, we have Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I really enjoyed this when I first read it because I was young enough that I didn't see the issues with it. And now I'm really aware that a lot of people have called it out for being kind of racist, especially in the portrayal of Park, who is Korean. And Rainbow Rowell's never apologized for it. She just glosses over any criticisms. So I don't need that anymore. Then finally, Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This one is one of her most popular books. I didn't love it. I didn't get the hype. It was okay. It was like a 3-star book for me, but I don't think I will ever reread it. I had at one point this mentality that I was gonna collect all of Rainbow Rowell's books, but that never happened. I have like 3 of them. I have this, Eleanor and Park, and Fangirl. And Fangirl's the only one that I really enjoyed of them all. So I'm keeping Fangirl, but I don't want Eleanor and Park anymore because that's definitely soured and I don't see it the way that I previously did. And this was only ever an okay book for me. I'm sure, like, I know a lot of other people love it, but it's really just not my kind of thing. I'm never gonna reread it, so gonna get rid of it. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books I'm getting rid of. I can't hold these. I just don't need these books in my life anymore. I need to make space for books that I actually want. I have a million books on my TBR, so I need to make space on my shelves for those and get rid of ones that don't make me happy or that I just forget about. So goodbye to these books. So that's my video for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with a new one.